What's up, guys? My name's Chaotic, back at you guys a little one today, coming at you guys with a video about Flualprazolam substance review. You know how it is, man. Come back with another benzo review. Yeah, let's just get started, man, right into this video. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Gameplay of Dead Island 2, man. Really love this game. You know, let me know down in the comments if you really enjoyed this game as well. And yeah, hopefully YouTube, doesn't demonetize. But obviously they're gonna demonetize anyway. So I would just include some, fucking bloody gameplay. Who gives a shit? Because they're gonna demonetize the video anyway. They always do it anytime I make a substance review now. So I'm not making no ad revenue really much off of this stuff, so I would really support if you guys join my channel or something and yeah, actually support other stuff. So yeah, stay tuned for more content coming out soon. And yeah, let's get started to this video, man. So Flualprazolam is a very interesting benzo. It feels a lot like Flualprazolam. It would actually, I think, be the analog of Flualprazolam, or Flualprazolam is the analog of Flualprazolam. I don't know which one's which, but they're both analogs of each other, similar to how Prazolam and Bromazolam are analogs of each other. Now Flualprazolam has a similar potency to Flualprazolam. It's gonna fucking knock you the hell out, man. This shit was potent as hell. So yeah, I took, man, I have bars of it, right? I only took a quarter of a bar of this, what this guy said was Xanax, but this is not Xanax, my friend. This shit lasts until the next day. Xanax does not last that long, man. I mean, you might have a hangover, you might have a little bit of like a slow feeling into the next day, but it's nothing like actually being high until the next day. So yeah, I don't know what's going on, but it's definitely not Alprazolam. It's Flualprazolam because it just lines up. I actually never sought Flualprazolam myself, but I could tell that this is Flualprazolam because I've done Flualprazolam and it has the potency of Flualprazolam, right? But it does not feel like Flualprazolam. Flualprazolam lasts 16 hours. This stuff lasts a little bit shorter. I would say, yeah, up to 10 hours probably. But the half-life is what lasts longer. So I would assume it probably has like a 50-hour half-life like most RC benzos do. So I could tell this is RC benzo because of the duration. So if you ever get Xanax and everything that, someone says it's something like that, right? Just know it's most likely never going to be Xanax, and it's probably going to be Bromazolam more than likely, or Flualprazolam. It could be some of these other strong ones, and yeah, it's a lot more hypnotic, so be careful. Be very careful. This is not one where you want to pop the whole bar. If you're used to popping a whole bar, if you pop a whole bar of Flualprazolam, bro, you're not going to be awake. All I know is that you're going to fucking knock yourself out, man. Bad idea. But so this stuff is measured in the micrograms, right? This motherfucker said he put 3 milligrams in these bars. And I'm like, there's no way. If you put 3 milligrams of Flualprazolam, I would have fucking knocked the fuck out. I mean, he could have, but man, nah, dude. Just look up the dosage range of Flualprazolam. It's in the microgram range. So really interesting how that plays into getting a bar pressed with Flualprazolam is a very bad idea, okay? You're never really going to be able to dose this shit correctly. So yeah, I have a hard time dosing this stuff correctly. I can't even dose it correctly, man. That's how bad it is. So like sometimes a quarter of it will leave you high and sometimes it won't. So it's not even. The amount of the drug inside of the bar is not even. So there's another thing you have to deal with when it's pressed. So it's not probably going to be evenly mixed together inside the filler powder, whatever they use. And you're probably going to get some sides that are stronger than the other sides of the bar. So be careful. Sometimes one day you might feel one effect from this and the next day you're fucking barred the fuck out. So yeah, there's really no balance between being barred out and being functionally high on Flualprazolam, I would say. It is really non-functional. I would say if you're in the public on this, it's like Flualprazolam. Obviously, you're going to look like you're high, okay? There's no hiding this stuff. I mean, really not. It's super hypnotic. It's super tiring. It's fucking, like, it's Xanax on steroids. That's exactly how I would describe it. Xanax on steroids, my friend. I would say it probably has 5 times the potency of Xanax because if I take a quarter of this bar, bro, I'm barred the fuck out and I can feel it to the next day. That is not normal. That's without a tolerance as well. It has a strong half-life. And on top of that, man, I just really don't know why the guy would just say it's 3 milligrams. I don't think he really put 3 milligrams up in that bitch. But you never know, because I know that would knock me out. And especially if it's Flualprazolam, no. It's measured in the microgram range, just so you know. It is not to be fucked with, okay? It's actually supposed to be volumetrically dosed. So, yeah. Honestly, if you're a vendor out there, do not be selling Flualprazolam. Do not be selling this stuff. If you notice your benzo feels very hypnotic, if it lasts till the next day, it's RC benzo, my friend. I'm sorry, but that's just, I know these things by now. I've done enough of them, I just really have a lot of experience with that. So, however, I would say it's very fun and recreationally, It's very sedative, if you're trying to wind down. Perfect for muscle tension. It has all of the same really effect profile as Flualprazolam had, actually, where the potency is so much greater. Flualprazolam is obviously stronger than Flualprazolam. I think it's a little more hypnotic and sleep inducing. Flualprazolam's a little more functional, right? But man, sometimes I think it just needs to be volumetrically dosed, man. You do not want to be putting strong fucking benzos like that in bars, bro. Because, like I said, some parts of it will be stronger than others, and also it's not the same as volumetrically dosing it. These are just meant to really not be fucked with, I would say, okay? If you're gonna do benzos at all, just do bromazolam, do stuff that does not last long, okay? But I would say that benzos like flualprazolam, because they last long, there's less of a urge to redose, right? There's like no urge to redose. I would say there's no urge to redose with flualprazolam. Now that is a plus when it comes to the benzo world, but maybe to an addict, you'd probably have an urge to redose. I already had that phase of doing all that, but I would say that you take one dose of this shit and you're high as fuck, whether it's a quarter of the bar or half, and probably upwards depending on your tolerance. But I would not be taking any more than half of these bars, because the half of this one knocks you the F out, bro. And I don't really know if it's really flualprazolam, but I could definitely tell that it is. Plus, you know, I've got it before, so yeah, man, I could tell it was flualprazolam. So this stuff lasted, you know, it lasted like at least 10 hours, man, but you know, the after effects last even longer. So it's really hard to know when the dose ends, right? You know, like it's just a really long lasting fucking chemical. And flualprazolam, you know, is actually up there with my most favorite RCs, you know, because I discovered this one recently. So I would say it's actually one of my favorite. It's a little more functional, recreational than flualprazolam. Flualprazolam for me was just a knockout drug. That was a date rape drug. There was a date rape drug I ever got, bro. That was the one, okay? More than GHB, bro. That shit, or maybe just as much as GHB, because both can knock you out. Especially with flualprazolam, something with that was, it really like knocked you the fuck out. Especially with no tolerance to benzos, you're gone. You're knocked out within at least 30 minutes. I'm serious. If you have no energy, nothing balancing that high out, you're gonna be knocked out. So yeah, that's just, you know, what happens when you go, you know, fucking with them harshy benzos, man. The hard ones, the strong ones. You know, just gotta be really careful not to mess with that stuff too much, because if you mess with it too much, you know, yeah, withdrawal. Also, yeah, there's still going to be a bit of a withdrawal even if you're not using these things every day. Your brain still adapts to whatever dose you're doing. Even if you're keeping it down to a minimum, I would say that it still adapts to that. It's really interesting how it happens. It's happened to me. So the benzos, yeah, your brain even adapts to like maybe taking a few times a week. If you stop taking a few times a week, you might even have a little bit of withdrawal. So yeah, this shit is real sneaky, my friend. Really, I would really not use it more than once or twice a week, because any more than that is telling your brain, oh, I want this drug, you know, I have more excuses to use it. And then when you have more excuses to use it, you use it a lot more often. And yeah, you know, that's just what happens. So be careful, you know, don't get into the habit of using this. You know, it's very bad because of the half-life, like I would say. So I would say flualprazolam, very strong, very hypnotic, up there with flualprazolam, clonazepam. All three of those has a similar potency to them. So yeah, it just smacks you hard as fuck. Flam smacks like clam. Remember that, flam smacks like clam. So anyways, I would rate it a fucking 9 out of 10, okay? You know, it's not the perfect benzo. Atizolam would probably be a 10 out of 10 for me. Xanax would be like a 10 out of 10. But this one, it's hard to dose. It's hard to know whether you're just gonna knock out or you're just gonna be awake, right? Because sometimes the high is actually alerting to me. You know, it actually makes me more awake, more flowy. When I get more flowy on a benzo, you know, I want to talk more. It's really interesting. But I would say with a tolerance, flualprazolam's all right. But with no tolerance, this stuff's going to smack the fuck out of you, man. You're going to be on your ass sleeping, okay? That's what happened the first time I took it. And man, I love fighting sleep on benzos, bro. I love doing that because that's where the high is. You know, you don't want to sleep through your high, right? So if it knocked me out, and I'm used to fucking keeping myself up on benzos, man, that shit is strong, I would say. So keep that in mind when you're doing this. And if you're doing it your first time, man, do it with a friend or someone, okay, someone around you, man. You're probably gonna do some dumb shit if you're, you know, if you can't control yourself. I'm just saying, if you can't control yourself, obviously you're probably gonna do dumb stuff. So please, you know, have someone you can contact or someone close to you that's not gonna rat you out or something, you know. Because that'd be a bad idea. You're probably going to make yourself look bad. And then, yeah, you don't want to have any, you know, papers or court cases next to you, know. Next thing you know, you can't be using nothing. And then you're really fucked. So, yeah, just some harm reduction for y'all. And, yeah, education, man. So, yeah, flualprazolam, it gets an AMI book, you know. I'm coming out with an updated benzo RC list, you know, containing these new benzos I've tried. And I actually have a new substance coming up, midazolam benzo review. I actually found out I actually did midazolam, which is actually known as Versed, in my anesthesia when I actually got my wisdom teeth removed. So I thought I'd just review that substance next. So yeah, stay tuned to the next one. Yeah, man, so flualprazolam, you guys are out there using this stuff, man, do not make a habit of it. Don't, please do not. It has safety effect profile as flualprazolam, which basically means there's not much of a safety. You can easily overdose. You can fucking knock yourself out. You can do some dumb shit. There is some form of delusion of sobriety. in higher doses, I noticed, with fluoprazolam. So be careful, man. Obviously, if you're not feeling it, you don't want to take any more. I noticed fluoprazolam because it lasts longer, because it's a long-acting RC benzo, right? It takes a while to kick into your body. Like it takes up to an hour to actually fully absorb into your fat tissues, I noticed. And yeah, that's why it's also potent, because it takes longer to kick in. And that's why I noticed about drugs that take longer to kick in, they just last longer in your body. So yeah, that is one comparison with drugs that last, like it's like acid, like drugs that last long take longer to kick in. That's just always what it's gonna be like. But anyways, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Flualprazolam is nice. Don't make a habit of doing it. It's a very strong benzo, and I'm sure the withdrawals are horrible. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy this one. Stay hot, stay lifted, and I'll see you guys in the next one.